Football is back, ladies and gentlemen, which now means it's time to get your team's football shirt. But I'm not trying to pay £120 for a football shirt. I'm just saying. But I have found the solution for myself and for you, the lovely audience of the Don Husam channel, with your own coupon promo code. And this is the solution, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to do is just go to okjersey.com. As you guys can see, all the options are there. Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, you guys already know. And then this is the shirt. Look how amazing it looks. I'm just gonna go pick my size, and then after that I'm gonna choose the Premier League patch. And listen, I'm too old to be putting any player names on the back, so I'm just gonna get it as it is. I'm gonna click add to cart, view cart. And this is the same thing that you guys do on any website. You proceed to checkout, you fill in all your information, and then after that, coupon code Husam. When you click this coupon code, you get a 8% discount. Enjoy shopping, guys. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome. It's Monday. It's 12 p.m. This time my electricity is not off. This time my power is not cut. But we are here. And we're going to be discussing our club, Liverpool Football Club, ladies and gentlemen. Because we are in a crisis. We're below Manchester United, which by definition makes us in a crisis. Now, you might ask, Husam, why is it still called Husam 10? You told us it expires yesterday. Yes, but I hooked you guys up with an extra day. I messaged him yesterday. I'm like, we have to get an extra day going. So 10% off, extra discount till the end of the day. And yeah, go get yourself some Liverpool merch because they deliver unlike our football club on the pitch. You get me? So go over there to OK Jersey, use code Husam10 and get 10% discount. We hooked you guys up with an extra day, Habibis. So yeah, big up to all of you guys. Big up to Jamie, big up to Tom, and big up to Callum for joining us. Matt bottled it. Drifty, we wish him a speedy recovery. And no one knows the whereabouts of James Redmond at this moment in time. The only one that can go investigate personally is Tom Little, because he's there. And like, the only one who can actually start an investigation. Someone asked earlier on, Avengers, which one is slot out and which one is slot in? Great question. Myself and Tom are slot in, and Callum and Jamie are slot out. So,
oh, Jay, you
yeah.
Have you seen my last two videos?
No, I haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance.
You know, man. Jamie, it's very easy to say he's your brother, but it's actually difficult to actually watch your content and be invested in what you have to say. You get me? So, you notice how I knew and he didn't know? See? That's the difference. That's real brother right there. Anyway, look, 400 people in the building. We need the likes up immediately because you guys know there's gonna be a heated conversation. We're gonna have to sit down and actually discuss what the hell is going on. So please like the video, please subscribe right now. I don't want to keep repeating it. I played it already, and I told you about the 10% code that expires by tonight. What more you want, Habib? What more you want? What intro? What, like you want me to play random stuff? Here we go.
Come on, let me have a quick. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Come on. You lot see that? Yeah, you lot see that? Clean.
There you go. That's your intro. Happy now?
Do you know how many times I forget there's certain things out there with me, and then you bring it up, and I'm just like, oh, I can't believe it.
Oh, I got even more stuff. I got stuff of you saying FSG out, but let's not go there. Anyway,
then my Sanderson group saying FSG out. That can't be true.
Yeah, that one was good.
I got the video.
That one was done.
Anyway,
I don't think people understand what's happened today.
Right, Tom, can you let Husam speak? He's trying to host a show, bro. Sorry, Husam, for his rudeness.
I was about to big up me and Husam, but you know, someone who slots out has just decided to spread his toxicity all over the entire platform.
Tom, he's trying to start people.
I don't think people understand what's going to happen today, though.
Please, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for his behavior. Husam, as you were. Sorry.
Who the fuck are you to tell me that?
Anyway, sorry, look, Liverpool are in crisis right now. Tom, actually, let's start with them first. Let's go to Callum. Callum, talk to me about how do you feel right now about Liverpool?
Deflated and dejected, annoyed, fed up, bro. Like we had the best summer in Liverpool's history in terms of excitement, happiness, the parade. Obviously, we'll always remember Diogo, RIP, but everything else outside of that was magical. Let's be real. Like we a bunch of us got players that we really wanted at the club, and we're seeing a team that are struggling in games, have been struggling in games for a while. It was overlooked because we were winning games and because we were on our way to winning the league. But ultimately, I broke this down. In 2025, we've been in fact, I won't go really bad. We've been average at best in 2025, and now it's at a point where I don't. And again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong, and I just don't know if the manager can turn things around from where we are. I don't think he's a rubbish manager. I'll never sit here and throw verbals at him. I'll always respect him. I'll always be grateful for the fact that he delivered number 20. But I look at him and I look at someone who's too stubborn to recognize the errors of their ways, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. So I'd rather us do something about it now rather than continuing to wait and things get worse. So that's just where I stand on it.
No. It's not just what you said. Please enlighten the wonderful people of the Don Husam channel who your solution is.
Sorry, Husam, are you asking the questions here or is Tom?
No, Tom can ask questions too.
Oh.
What is this? This ain't North Korea. We're not in Pyongyang.
I tell you what, it sounds like he wanted to be North Korea today, doesn't he?
Yeah, anyone can
say
find
anything.
whenever they want. It's fine. You get me?
No,
What
I
we're not
just-
going to do is
No,
this
no.
whole organized stuff.
Yeah,
The fan base are already in pain. We don't need organization. Like,
I'm just trying to wind Tom up, to be honest. The managers I look at, and I know I'm not going to be in the majority with this one. I do think Gerrard could come in and change the fortunes of what's happening. And then the other person I think of is Glasner as well.
how do you want two people to replace Slot and you don't have the correct answer in either of them? The only correct answer if Slot gets sacked tomorrow is Iraola. That's the only
Why
correct
is I don't have a problem with Iraola either.
The only correct answer because he's tactically apt, because he has sold both of his defenders and he's second currently in the league, because he manages attacking football, because he gets the best out of his player, because he plays a formation that sustainably leads to you winning. Liverpool, I want to make something clear. Liverpool hiring Glasner, in my opinion, is the same as Forest hiring Postecoglou. It
No,
is
it's-
the complete opposite of everything that we have right now. I don't
It's
think Glasner
not.
works at Liverpool at all. At
No,
all.
It's not that extreme, but I don't think it works.
Come
I'll
on.
be honest. I don't even. I think Iraola's a good manager. That's also one I don't see the point in. I think if you're, I don't really agree with sacking managers mid-season. I've never really agreed with it. For me, if it's a case of you're telling me he's gone, I've got to figure out who I'm getting to replace him. I'm crossing fingers, toes, whatever it takes, and hoping that Nagelsmann leaves Germany in the summer. And I'll go get Nagelsmann in the summer.
I'm not really a fan of Nagelsmann either.
I'm not a fan of Nagelsmann either.
I wasn't until I properly looked into him. Then I realised he got fucked over massively at Bayern. He's actually been very good for a
If
number of
Hansi
years now.
Flick was willing to leave Barcelona, I'd look at him as well.
Brother Van Dijk is 35. You want him to play that high line?
No, how long is Van Dijk going to be at the club forever?
I mean, he at least another year, I'd say.
Yeah, so like surely we have succession plans and we're meant to rotate and all that. So Van Dijk's not playing every game, no.
I love when people say this. Guys, Enrique is not going to leave PSG mid-season and join us.
No,
Please.
that's not.
Like,
That's why I didn't
sometimes-
mention his name.
Sometimes I think, like, who do we think we are? Like, I get we're a massive club. We're massive. That does not mean that Enrique will leave mid-season. By the way, Enrique won't leave mid-season to join a single club. He won't join Madrid mid-season. He won't join anyone because he's going to give PSG that respect because he's that type of guy. He ain't just going to leave them mid-season. For me, the one that makes sense is Iraola. That's the attacking manager that I think actually solves our problem. With Stevie, I was saying this to Callum offline. I was like, you want to know something? Here's the problem with Steven Gerrard. I love Gerrard so much that if I heard Mike Dast break down why Gerrard is tactically inept, I would have to take a flight to the US and physically punch him because I just can't take anyone insulting Stevie G. So I don't want him to be Liverpool manager because I don't want anyone turning on Stevie because I love Stevie too much. Like, it just cannot be a world in which someone is like turning on Stevie, man. So yeah, that's why for me, I'm not trying to see Gerrard as a
The
manager.
thing is, I like Iraola, but I just think that what you have at the minute is a squad that is in major overhaul and major sort of renewal, and a manager with, if it's Iraola, a manager with little to no experience of the pressures of a top club. Now, I think you can you can have one work. So if you've got one problem, you can have that one problem. You either have a squad that's in major, overhaul and needs major upheaval and needs a new tactical identity, and you bring in a manager who's got experience of managing top clubs and a manager who's experienced with the pressures of managing top clubs. Or you can bring in a manager who hasn't got that experience yet, who's got a lot of potential, who needs a little bit of time. But as long as you've got a settled squad there that can give that manager the best platform, then I think it works. I just think that there's a real gamble in having a squad that is going through major overhaul and a manager who's never managed at the top level. Not the top level, but the very, very high pressured level, should I say. I think that's the risk of it. If the squad was a little bit more settled, then I'd be more on Iraola.
We all basically said that many people thought, including myself, that Bournemouth are in trouble this season after selling Zabarni and Husam, and like even wasn't it? Didn't they sell Ouattara? I swear.
I actually didn't think they'd be in trouble this season.
I did, to be honest with you. I thought that
I can understand why you said that. I can understand why you said that though, but I didn't think they'd be in trouble.
I think stylistically, he's the one that would be the most seamless transition. Attacking football, also has worked with Kerkez before, also has worked with Richard Hughes before. So I think he would set up this team in a 4-3-3 in a style and system that actually suits our players. And we'd end up cooking. And by the way, he's had a formation with a striker as well before, another reason. Dominic Solanke had his best season under Iraola. So like I'm saying, look, my point is he's worked with a striker before, which is something we need in terms of like Isak Iktike. He's plays attacking football, so there's a thing. But for me right now, I just want Slot to turn it around. Like I'm not Slot out. I'm not at that level yet. I think Slot out is more of a feeling than anything else. Like I said, I don't think it's a thing where it's like, if I feel like Slot can't move us forward. And listen, Tom says, he should get till the end of the season. I understand what Tom is saying, but even Tom will turn at some point in time if the results continue. Let's say Liverpool lose to Palace, Villa, and Madrid. I doubt Tom will be here on a Thursday going like, let's support the manager. Bro, every club has a cutoff point. I love the fact that Liverpool historically don't sack a lot of managers, that Liverpool, everyone gets a chance at Liverpool, basically. Rodgers got a chance. Everyone gets a chance. No, you don't just... Liverpool Football Club don't just sack managers like that, right? So everyone gets an opportunity. However, even the club that gives people opportunities will also have a cutoff point. Liverpool lose the next 3 games. Even the majority that aren't like haven't turned on him will turn. So he better get his shit together, and he better get his shit together quickly.
All the managers that have been sacked under FSG were at a point where Liverpool were trying to build. Liverpool have now built and got arguably the greatest squad we've ever had in the Premier League. And we've lost 5 out of 6 games, and no one can see anything changing. I think that's the difference right now between other managers that have been here in the past. We've got a ready-made squad now. When Klopp came in, he was building. When Brendan came in, he was building. When Dalglish came in, he had to take over and start building again. This club's built now, and it has to perform. And I think that's why a lot of people are angry and upset right now, including myself. I don't see where the next win's coming from. Arne Slot at the moment's got the vision of a blind man. Do you know what I mean? I don't know where the next win's coming from. Like, Villa just beat Man City. Villa just beat Manchester City, right? Does anyone really think we're going to beat Aston Villa next weekend?
Villa are on 7 wins in a row, by the way.
I don't think we're going to beat Villa. If we don't beat Villa and Man City, that's 6 Premier League games in a row without a win. Is that good enough for Liverpool Football Club that's got a ready-made team? It's got this strong squad. It shouldn't be. We are Liverpool at the end of the day. I don't want this excuse that we've had an overhaul this summer. Look at Sunderland. Look at Sunderland with their massive overhaul and getting promoted, where this football should be difficult for them coming up from the Championship, yeah? They're probably going to stay up now. I'm not going to say they're going to finish where they are. They're going to stay up because everyone below them's terrible. And that's a massive overhaul in one summer with the biggest spend they've ever had as a football club. And look what they're doing. I can't use this as an excuse. I can't use it as
Speaking
an
of
excuse.
Iraola, actually, even Bournemouth had a lot of changes.
Yeah, that's why I can't use it as an excuse, because you're not getting these shit players. You're getting very, very good footballers in. And, you know, what annoys me is I still see people today going, we haven't got the fullbacks to play. We haven't got the fullbacks to play and all this stuff, yeah? Change the way you play then. Change the way you play. Slot doesn't have to persist on this style. He is the manager. He can change it up. He can go to the players, you know what? This ain't working. What I'm trying to do, you guys, is just not working. Let's change this up a little bit. Let's go to something that works for all of us, and we'll start get us points and stop us conceding goals. We lost to Brentford. Brentford have got a vision of how they want to play football. I don't particularly enjoy it. I don't like English football at the moment. English football has turned into long ball set piece football. That is all this football in this league is about now. I find the football in this country now very amateurish. You know, it's gone back, not good for me, but people got to play with what they got, yeah? I'd hate it if Liverpool did it, all right? But people got to play with what they got. You go to you got Brentford, yeah? You're going away from home. You know, they're extremely great at set pieces. They're very good at pressing, and they're very direct. So we set up in a way to help them play that style. After losing against Man United, I thought the loss against Man United...
And we concede the first throw. We're taking
exactly.
the first, basically.
And I thought the loss to Man United would be the slap in the face that he needed to, you know, wake himself up a little bit. And I thought he did that on Wednesday in Europe, yeah? And I know it was a European game and all that, and they're not as strong as Premier League teams. I get it. But he did change it up. He used 4-4-2, 3-5-2 in possession. There was a little change in things. He went back to the Premier League game against Brentford, and he went, you know all that good work we did midweek? Fuck it. Let's go back to how we lost against Man United. Do you know how senile that is? Do you know how crazy that is? That's been Mo Salah in, who can't run at the moment, although he scored a world-class goal, and I don't think there's many players in the world that can score what Salah did, but that don't take away from the absolute awful performance he had. You know, let's put Kerkez back in when Robbo killed it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, I don't understand what's going on, and this style is hurting us as well. It's hurting us. And with Liverpool Football Club, this is the thing I get annoyed with. We're not Nottingham Forest. We're not all these shit little teams here. We're Liverpool, the biggest team in this country. We should be the biggest team in the world. We should be like the English Real Madrid. That is what Liverpool are. And these performances can't continue. You know, we're all sitting here going, yeah, he's going to get it right. He's going to get it right. Is he? Like, that's the big if at the moment. And that's the big if the club has to run with. You know, they're going to run with it. We've got a lot of stock put into this guy. We believe he can do it, right? There's a lot of fans out there, including me at the moment, who are not sure he can do it. This is the problem. I just don't see where our next win's coming from. Is he going... Like, if I ask you guys on the panel and everyone in the chat right now, do you believe he's going to change it? Let's forget about the Wednesday games. It's a cup game. It's different. Premier League's where it matters, yeah? Is he going to change it?
Forget about it, but I can't guarantee you we beat Palace either.
No, exactly. But
I watched the way they played away at Arsenal, and you know Glasner's going to take the cup seriously.
Yeah, exactly. And on Saturday against Villa, does anyone actually believe he's going to change his system? He's going to take the players out who shouldn't be playing and play differently how he's played against Man United and Brentford previously? Yeah, I don't think he will. And if we don't, are we beating Villa at home? I'm sick of the excuses as well. Oh, we played a lot of games away from home. Yeah, that's how football works. You play an even amount of games away and an even amount of games home. Also, we lost at home to Man United. This is getting me off there, right? He tells everyone what we're shit against, yeah? And then doesn't learn how to play against. So he tells everyone we can't play against low blocks and direct and long balls and set pieces. And everyone's like, okay, we'll play that way. And then I think, my manager's both bluffing them. He's playing mind games. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's just literally telling the world what we can't play against. And he won't learn how to go against it, how to stop it. I'm fuming. I've had enough. You know, I've had enough. This can't continue. It really can't. We're not building. If this was a normal FSG summer and we've not spent any money, right, and the manager's having a struggle, I'd be like, all right, maybe the manager's got, I can't completely blame him. right? But we've got fucking the greatest summer we've ever had. And I don't want people now to go, oh, was it really a great summer? Did we get the players that he really wanted? Yes, he did. He got everyone he wanted. And he's decided to play a different way to the players that he wanted to bring in. It's madness. Your best DM last season is now a box-to-box 8 or an attacking 8. And if you want Gravenberch to play there, I'm fine with it. It's cool. He should probably play there. Then go and buy a DM in the summer to help him play in that position. Stop taking my best midfielder and trying to make him a right back. What's going on? My best midfielder this season, you want to make him a hybrid right back when you bought one in the summer and you got one in the squad. It makes no sense. Then there's Joey Gomez, yeah? Let's not play Joe Gomez because we can't play Joe Gomez, you know, in right back because he's our spare centre back. We can't use him at left back or right back right now. He's our spare centre back, and I need him to use him as our spare centre back. Cool, don't mind that. But then he don't use him as a spare centre back because he uses my second best midfielder in Ryan Gravenberch as a centre back. What's going on? Like, these are just, I'm not even going over the top here. These all make sense. Again, the other day, he decided to take up 3-1 down against Brentford. I'm fuming. I don't know if you can tell. 3-1 down against Brentford, yeah? Our best midfielder in Szoboszlai, arguably our best player, he takes him out of midfield to put him right back. Yeah? To take him out the firing lineup. Yeah, we're fucked. You go and play right back now. Let them just go through the midfield. And then 10 minutes later, he realises his mistake and then brings Joe Gomez on for Wirtz. I was like, what's going on? And then puts Szoboszlai back in midfield. He doesn't know what he's doing right now. He is fried. He has no idea how to get Liverpool out of this mess. He's struggling mentally with this. You can tell by his substitutions against Brentford. He didn't know how to change it. He didn't know what to do. But what I'm annoyed with, if he wants to play a system he wants to play, and he wants to play Gravenberch in this sort of role and stuff like that, buy the right players in the summer then. And stop trying to make my two best midfielders into defenders. Sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. But someone else go.
Guys, why is everyone quiet? Like,
I've said my bit. Everything Jamie said, I agree with.
Okay, Anson, you got to give us a little bit of time to.
I got told. I'm sure Jamie's probably had it on his channel. I've been told I'm an idiot. I've been told I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm an idiot because I want to slot out. Everything Jamie just said, where's he wrong? What's he said that's wrong?
I don't think Jamie said anything that's
wrong. I'll ask if a rival manager was doing what Slot's doing after spending and getting basically the keys to the city to change the squad, we'd be ridiculing that manager. We'd be saying this manager's not good at all. Let's not forget we let go of a Luis Diaz and didn't replace him because we were told Rio's the future. We don't want to block his pathway. But guess what? We don't even see Rio. Imagine this: we bring on Rio when we're 3-1 or 3-2 down to Brentford. I think it was 3-1 at the time. No, it was 3-1. It was 70th minute. We bring on Rio when we're 3-1 down. A 17-year-old who's barely kicked Premier League football. We bring him on to try and get us back into the game. But when we're 5-1 up against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League, Rio stays on the bench. What psychology is that? Surely, if you've got a 17-year-old who's just come into the first team, you want them to be playing in situations where they're as relaxed as possible, can get integrated into the first team, get some minutes under their belt. I tell you when the best time to do that, when we're up 5-1 away from home, and you go on the pitch, Rio, bro. You go and do your thing. There's no pressure. Frankfurt ain't get back into the game. You go and play your game. Have some fun out there. Relax, enjoy it. But instead, no, I'll go and throw my 17-year-old winger on and say we're 3-1 down to Brentford away from home. Make something happen out there. You've got Chiesa, who was given Player of the Month, but can't start ahead of Gakpo or Salah. You've got Szoboszlai, as Jamie said, going into right back, back into midfield, and back at right back, and then back into midfield. The game against Man United, Florian Wirtz, our number 10, our marquee number 10. And number 10 that, if I'm not mistaken, 99% of the fan base said he's world-class, top 2 number 10s in the world, arguably the best number 10, a lot of people said. We brought him on against Man United because he didn't start the game, by the way. We brought him on and then played him in a 4-2-4 pivot next to Curtis Jones in midfield. We've played Florian Wirtz right midfield. Right midfield, we played Florian Wirtz. How is that going to get the best out of Florian Wirtz, which in turn gets the best out of the rest of the team? Salah is rotated out because everyone said he got dropped against Frankfurt. No, rotated out throws a strop on the bench, then gets to start the next game. What message does that give out to the rest of the team? Oh, if you throw a strop, I'll get back into the team. Gakpo ignores Kerkez's runs, cuts in and shoots when he shouldn't shoot, doesn't physically impose himself on games, but he starts every game despite Kerkez's form. Salah starts every game despite Kerkez's form. Then you got Kerkez at left back, as Jamie said. Robbo put in probably the best performance of a left back this season against Frankfurt. How do you reward him? You drop him for the next game. Name me one great game Kerkez has had this season. Probably Arsenal, actually. He was fantastic against Arsenal. In fact, I'll be the first to say, fantastic against Arsenal. Apart from that, he's been awful. But yet he's continually starting games. How is that fair? Ibu went through a spell where he was awful. Absolutely awful. Gomez still couldn't get a look in. Still couldn't get a look in. If I'm Bradley and I'm Frimpong, and especially Frimpong, if I'm Frimpong and I sit there and go, I left Leverkusen to come to Liverpool, and I'm effectively third choice right back and second choice right winger now. It's not just the results. It's not just the performances. It's the man management as well. The man management has been really poor. So the results are going bad, the performances are going bad, and man management's going bad. Honestly, why are me and Jamie crazy for saying what we're saying? I'm not even sitting there saying I'm right to be saying I think we need a new manager. I'm not even sitting there saying I'm right, you guys are wrong. But to sit there and call me crazy or stupid or idiotic, I genuinely want to know. Because if I list this about any other manager, you'd be saying, boy, a manager's not right for that club. And again, Husam Tom, I'm not even saying you lot are wrong for saying give Slot more time. I'm not saying that either. You're not. I think this is just a difference of opinions here. But my thing is this. In 2025, I broke it down today on the morning show. We played 42 games, if I'm not mistaken, in 2025. Out of 42 games, we were poor for 23 of them. I'm not saying we lost all of those. We didn't, obviously. But we were poor. Performances were poor for 23. 9 of those games were average. And the rest were good. 10 of those games, I'd say, were good or fantastic. Out of 42 games, if only 10 are good or fantastic, 1 in 4 games as Liverpool, with the squad we have, with the players we have, it's not good enough, guys. I don't get what the whole hang-up is here. I get it. He delivered us a league title. I get he didn't have to, he wasn't expected to do that. I will always love Slot for that. Always be indebted to him for that. But there's a difference between having very low expectations and having high expectations. Right now, the expectations going into the season from everyone on this panel was, we're going to win the league. We expect to win the league. Last season, apart from Jamie, who said he thinks we're going to win the league, and even then, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Jay. I don't think you expected to win the league. Last season, pundits, Liverpool fans, all alike says, I expect us to get top 4, third, but we're not winning the league. He exceeded those expectations. Now the pressure's on and you're expected to win a league because of what you've done previously and because who you've added to the squad. And he's struggling with the pressure. Absolutely struggling with the pressure. And I don't see how this turns around. I genuinely don't, because here's the thing. I don't even buy into the notion we'll definitely lose to Villa, because genuinely we have a good record against Villa at home. I can see us drawing that game though. I can't see us beating City. I can't see us beating Palace in the cup, because I think we'll rotate heavily because of the amount of games we play, and I think Palace will take it seriously. I can't see us beating Real Madrid currently. So why is it that me and Jay are crazy for saying what we're saying? And again, not going to say you have to agree with it. That's fine. But to say we're stupid and crazy, make it make sense.
You know they call him Arne Slut now because he's getting fucked by everyone. Do you know that? That's what they call him, man. That's what his nickname is right now. Our manager is called Arne Slut. Yeah, people are happy with this. Yeah.
The manager's doing a lot of things wrong. I won't disagree with that. And you know, every point you've raised is a fair point. But I'm also not just looking at the manager on this. I think some of the players have an immense lack of fight. And you know what our biggest problem is? We can try and do all these fucking tactical breakdowns, and we should change systems to a 3 at the back, or we should go to a 4-4-2. We should do this, or we should do that. You go watch that Brentford game. We could have played fucking Barcelona online football. It wouldn't matter because we don't win second fucking balls. We don't fight. I think the manager knows how to stop long balls. We just fucking don't do it. You stop long balls by winning the initial duel and then grabbing the second ball. We don't win second balls. The entire fucking line of frontline pressure, it's wank. There was a moment in that game where their right back picks it up at right back, runs past Gakpo, Ekitike, Salah and Wirtz under no pressure because they just do the fucking half-arse press and then plays a pass and straight away their wingers one-on-one with our fullback. There's no fight. There's no actual way. Mm-hmm.
By the way, agree with that. The players do have to hold.
Yeah, the players take a lot of responsibility.
They have to hold blame as well.
Yeah.
With what you're saying regarding the fight, these players had fight last season, so why don't they have it this season? That's the first question. And secondly, with regards to second balls, I think everyone just thinks, oh, you just run extra hard and you always win second balls. Tactical setup, a lot of the time dictates whether you win second balls. Are you in the right position? Are you in the right system to be able to win a knockdown? We've seen how many times our midfield is just void of players because of the tactical setup. So if a defender from their team wins the header, how is a midfielder meant to get to it when they're told to be in a certain position? We played Man United and there was a gaping hole in the middle. So let's say one of our defenders tried to play a ball and it got deflected. Which midfielder is in a position to recover that ball?
You should, in theory, and we have done against Brentford, because I actually don't think the midfield was that high against Brentford, which is why I'm more annoyed at that one. You should have your two centre-backs, one of which is winning the duel, your two pivots in front of them, and your full-back on that side, because the pivot guys did not attack this game. That they were not pushing that high up this game. That was the one thing he kept from Frankfurt. The pivot wasn't pressing that high up. The stupid thing was he changed that halfway in the first half, and that's where the second goal comes from, because the pivot's not nowhere near. But for the first 20, 25 minutes of that first half, the pivot was held in position. We just weren't winning second balls because we're flat-footed. We're slow. There's a lack of fight there. And yes, the manager can get some blame for that, 100%. But your point of there was fight there last year. This guy was the manager last year. So it's not like it's a case of, this is just a managerial problem, because it was there and it wasn't. Because I can't explain how we've got to this point without me saying it's on both of them. The manager has changed things, and the players aren't working for it. The players aren't doing it. So I understand.
Could they not be set up, and that's why there might be a lack of fight? But also in terms of the pivot, Jay said it. Gravenberch has come out and said it. I've got more license to go forward. So the pivot players that aren't always going to be in the right position.
Right, Cal. I'm looking at Saturday's game. I'm looking at what my whole point was. Saturday's game, the pivot wasn't that high up until he changed it with 10 minutes to go in the first half, and then had to change it back because he's very good at cocking up and then fixing his own mistake 20 minutes later.
But we're not crashing out because of just one game, though, Tom.
I know. Okay, so the games where I think we were set up really badly to win the second ball was Man United. I'll be honest, that's about it. Because every other game, for us to win a second ball, the DMs were in a good enough position. They're just flat-footed. The wing-backs are flat-footed. They're all pushing responsibility onto someone else. They're all going, someone else will sort that for me. They're all leaving it for someone else. There's no... The only guys who've been really trying to grab some responsibility at points is Szoboszlai and Jones. They're the only guys that wants to actually grab games and go, I'll drag us through ourselves. It's not good enough. And I can look and blame the manager with that. 100% I can blame the manager. But I also need to look at these players, because we can say all this about maybe the players are just fed up of it. So what are we now going to suggest that Liverpool players are throwing a manager under the bus to get him gone? Because I do not like that notion for players.
I actually think there might be a bit of that there. I see when I watch Liverpool play right now, especially that Brentford game, I saw from our players no energy or effort to try and get us back into that game. Absolutely none. And in the past, when managers are going wrong, even when it was going wrong for Jurgen tactically or Arne or anyone like that, I still see the players go, we can't let the manager go down like this and put in more effort, right? And get us back into games of football. I see no. I think they're all lethargic. Virgil's had the worst 3 weeks I've ever seen him at a Liverpool Football Club. I don't know what that's to do with, but he just has. Szoboszlai, you can see he's playing, but I feel for Szoboszlai needs a new contract and a pay rise for every position he plays on the pitch right now. So he's trying, but there seems to be a lack of effort with the team overall. And I'm not saying they're not playing for Arne, but they just don't seem to have that same run through a brick wall when it's down, like they did under Jurgen and they do under Arne. Under Jurgen, Jurgen didn't always tactically get spot on and stuff like that. But then players ran through a wall for him, right? They literally ran for him. Right now, I just don't see the same players running for the manager. And then
let me chime in here, because I think, look, here's the thing. I'm not going to let Tom drown by himself. First of all, big up to the football terrace for the raid. Big up to everyone who just joined us from Terry's channel. Guys, we can't have 1,700 people in here. We're not even at 500 likes yet. So please do get the likes up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to use code Husam10. It expires tonight. I hooked you guys up with an extra day. So go over there and get yourself a shirt. Use code Husam10 for 10% off. Now, like and subscribe, because we have a lot of votes on the panel. So far, most people, as expected, you get in the Don Husam community, very logical. 47% Iraola, 24% Stevie, 17 Glasner, and 13 Nagelsmann.
You missed a name out.
Who?
Vincent Kompany.
No, not for me.
He's not taking. He's waiting for that City
he's
job.
He's not leaving to manage.
The thing is, a lot of people will be like, Vinny Kompany, he did work shit with Burnley. Yeah, I hear it. But would Arne Slot be doing what Vinny Kompany's doing at Bayern Munich right now?
I think he would, Joe.
I think he would, because I think Bayern can win that league.
What Harry Kane be playing DM?
My brother Robert Kovac won the league. But anyway, listen,
sorry,
no,
Husam,
I don't think anyone
before you,
for
can I say something just before you say what you're going to say, Husam?
Yes.
I
just want them to like the video. That's what I want them to say, and
sorry.
then I want to continue. Just like the video, guys, because we're not even at 300 likes yet. Go ahead, Callum.
Tom, by the way, when you said you wouldn't like it if the players are throwing the manager on the bus and down tooling, I completely agree with you on that as well. That would really pee me off. But one of the manager's jobs is to motivate your players, and I'll ask you, if you're Frimpong, would you feel motivated at the club? I wouldn't right now. Joe Gomez, I wouldn't feel motivated. Kanai, I don't know what's going on with the Real Madrid situation. I can't speak on that. Virgil looks like he's at his wit's end with certain decisions and tactical setups, etc. Robertson, if I'm Robertson right now, I wouldn't feel motivated, because I'll be thinking, like, what does the left back in front of me have to do for me to start games? If I'm Szoboszlai, I'm thinking, I'm a midfielder. Why the hell do you keep on playing me at right back? If I'm Gravenberch, I'm thinking, why didn't you get me a centre defensive midfielder so I could play my game if that's what you want, rather than ask me to be a hybrid 8 and a hybrid 6 at the same time and then playing me at centre back? If I'm Florian Wirtz, I'm thinking I left Leverkusen to do this nonsense. If I'm Ekitike, I'm thinking, hang on a sec, I know Isak's the big money signing, but I started the season pretty well. Should he not have to earn his stripes just like I have to as well? There is probably going to be a lack of motivation in that dressing room from certain players because of how they've been treated by the manager.
I agree with that, by the way. I'll actually answer that. I do agree.
Chiesa as well. What does Chiesa have to do to get a slot?
I agree with that 100%. Like, Slot does need to. And someone was, I was scrolling through Twitter, just reading what the people are saying. And someone was saying, it's not on Slot to just put the tactics out there. It's on Slot as well to kind of man motivate, basically. It's on him to do the man management side, not just the tactical and managerial side. I think the thing for me is, like, the reason why I'm not Slot out yet is because I do believe he actually has the capability to turn it around. Like, it's hope, but it's also based off what I saw last season. Like, this is the same guy that played Diaz false 9. This is the same guy that played the box midfield away at the Etihad, giving us the first win there. So even the whole Klopp era, we never won at the Etihad in even when City were bad. Like, I think Slot can turn it. I was Premier League, Tom. I think Slot.
His first Etihad game, we won 4-1.
against Pep, you know what I mean, not against Pellegrini. So
The
here's
goalpost changed 3 times there.
no, it didn't change. Everyone knows what I meant. It's like a figure of speech. I don't have to be specific about everything I say. It's known what's said. I know the Martel Skirtle banger at the end, the fourth goal. We remember that game. But anyway, he's the type of guy that has shown the capability to change things around. Like he's the same manager that turned up against Leverkusen and said, guys, because they have those center backs out there, let's play Diaz false line. Can't be this idiotic and think, okay, I'm just not going to change it around. Let me just share something quickly with you guys, because I think slot criticism is all credit goes to Mike Das. I'm not stealing Mike Das's work. I'm sharing it, and I'm saying go subscribe to Mike Das, because this is something he's pointed this out so many times at this point. Mike Das has so many still images from in-game where everything is going wrong for Liverpool Football Club. And he's pointing out how Liverpool basically just completely vacate the midfield. This is the first picture I want to share with you guys. There's more pictures to share, aka more pain. You get me? This is Liverpool when we have the ball in attacking areas in order to attack. And you guys can see the structure. The question that I would ask myself is why are Wirtz, Salah, and Ekitike, all three of them, just basically hugging each other there? And the third still image, shout out to Mike once again. Go subscribe to Mike Das's channel. This is it right here. Watch this. I want to understand, like, okay, we say the players are downing tools. And I agree that the players should never down tools for a manager. I agree that the players should never, ever turn on the manager. The players should always perform for the badge regardless. Like, you have to play for Liverpool Football Club because you're putting on this badge and you have to fight till the end. But if you don't believe in what the manager is putting out there, it's becoming very difficult. Like, the whole basically buying Kerkez and then playing him as a left center back, the way that we build up. Like, big up Uncle Albert. Like, Uncle Albert is very emotional, very angry, but he makes a very solid point. He came on at halftime and he's like, okay, we get it. We don't have a DM. Just ask one of Curtis or Soboslai to just sit in front of the center backs. Just. By the way, the reason why I haven't turned on the manager is because I actually think all the problems are solvable. Big up to LB. He was on my show last week. He was like, Husam, this isn't like City last year, because City didn't have in-house solutions. City didn't have something from in-house. Like, City needed to go buy players to switch things around. City needed to go change things around. Like, I think we can actually play good football and win every game from now until January without signing a single player if we just change the way that we play football. People insist on keep calling out certain individuals. Thank God I wasn't one of the people that scapegoated an individual, because I knew it's not an individual basis. Like, we can speak about Mo until the cows come home. Mo's shit. Mo's crap. Yes, he's crap. I give him a 0 out of 10. Van Dijk has been significantly worse for the last 3 games. Are the same people putting out videos and going like, oh my God, Van Dijk, it's time to go. No, they're not, because it's favoritism. The only player, and I mean the only player that deserves praise over these last 3 games is Soboslai. The rest can all get it. It's the reality. They can all get it. They've all been shit. It's not just an individual. So, and
Jones
my
has
rule of
been good
thumb,
as well. Jones has been good as well.
yeah, Jones, of course. Jones has been really good. My rule of thumb for any football club is, look, 10 players performing like shit, you've got to look at the manager. My thing is just like, I want him to fix it, and I think he can fix it. So I'm just being a bit patient. But I just tell to everyone, look, everyone has a cutoff point, with all due respect. Even Tom, like, we lose these next 3 games. I doubt Tom is going to come here on this platform and say, oh my God, I'm still supporting the manager. Like, we can't just keep saying, oh, he won the league last year, give him to the end of the season. The one thing I will disagree with as well, and this has been a reaction online, is when people come here and go like, Jurgen Klopp lost 6 games in a row. The times where Jurgen Klopp went through difficult games is either when we had massive injuries or we had fitness issues. And by the way, I just want to make something clear. People go like, Sam, you're not scapegoating now, but you were scapegoating Nunes and Diaz. We had more possession against Manchester City at home with Harvey Elliott, with Wataru Endo, with Conor Bradley, with players that were significantly worse than Manchester City with Rodri and Haaland. And we were the ones creating the dangerous chances. So if we performed really well against Brentford, but we missed the chances and we missed the opportunities, I would be calling out the forward. But I don't think we performed really well. and the whole one pass is all it takes. For me, the second goal is the most pathetic goal we conceded all day. Most pathetic. Like when I say pathetic, I mean pathetic. Ekitike and Verts are running into each other on the pitch. Ekitike loses the ball. Damsgaard, one pass from Damsgaard that Callum could have made out there on the pitch. And then in behind, Kevin Shade or Shade or however the fuck you pronounce his name, and it's a goal. And people are blaming Mamardashvili, where we've been spoiled. We've been spoiled because we have the best one-on-one goalkeeper.
No, I'll be honest. There is still a point. Oh, when I look at Mamardashvili and go, why you're doing what the Hay used to do, where you've just ran back to your line and given Shada as much time as he needs to shape up. If you go close him down and he chips you, I've got less complaints about that. I didn't like the fact that when Shada's running through one-on-one, he's going back to his goal line rather than trying to step forward and close the angle down. I know we've
been spoiled with Alisson. It's not the normal to have that many one-on-one saves.
Fucking Jordan Pickford does that. If Alisson's not the only goalkeeper in the world who closes down when it's a one-on-one.
No, he might close down, Tom. Pickford does that, but that doesn't mean
it's a different one. It was a different one-on-one, though, wasn't it?
Alisson's special. He's just special.
Wasn't it last season that Alisson saved like a +7 one-on-one?
Yeah, but he's like when I look at it, like I don't think it's fair to Mamardashvili. Alisson's the best one-on-one goalkeeper in world football. Yeah?
He's the best goalie.
So when I the way Redmen TV put it as well, basically saying these results, all our losses is basically because Alisson ain't in goal, ain't helping things either.
I'm Husam from Jordan, and I'm this close to getting Redmen TV now.
Things like that just don't help. By the way, it just don't help.
That's why no one watches that shit anymore.
And look, Mamardashvili is a good goalkeeper. I actually think he plays well when he's in goal. Yeah, but he's not Alisson Becker. You know what I mean? It don't matter who we have in goal, we're not Alisson Becker. And that one-on-one, well, the thing I would say about that one-on-one is that it was a little bit different than the usual one-on-one. You know, Sade he's run, you know, he's got no one around him. It's quite a comfort. He's got to score. I don't think Alisson saves it either because there's so much room for him to run in. You know, it's not a close one-on-one. He's got so much time. Yeah, it's... I don't think any keeper would have saved it personally.
Plus, Mamardashvili really pulled off a couple.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jamie. It's okay for us to say Alisson might have saved it, but that's only because we're spoiled. Because he's the best at doing this. You get me? But for me, Mamardashvili is legitimately the last person I'm looking at. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot look at the goalkeeper. Like every goal that we have conceded over the last 4 games have been more pathetic than the other one. Like it's just so pathetic the way that we defend. And you know, this all stems from this whole 3-1-6 thing. Why the fuck do you buy Milos Kerkez and ask him to act as a third center back?
And Husam,
what the fuck are we doing? This is why I think like guys, like Slot ain't this dumb. Surely he's gonna fix it. Surely he will find a way to turn things around. Like that's why I haven't turned on him, because my logic is very simple. I'm just sitting here going like, guys, of course Slot can see the problems. Like he can fix it. This is the same guy that did so many tactical adjustments last year. This is the same guy that found so many solutions, that adapted to so many different oppositions and allowed us to beat them.
Here's the thing, Husam. He actually has made quite a lot of tactical changes this season. The problem is he's making the wrong tactical changes, and that's where my issue stems from. But also, Husam, you said that you're still slotting because you believe he has the capabilities of turning things around. I agree with that. He has the capabilities. But that's what, again, frustrates me even more. This isn't like we're dealing with someone who's tactically inept or stupid. He's a very smart man. He's tactically very good, but he keeps on making the wrong decisions. So it's like, that's where my frustration stems from even more. And that's what worries me even more. The fact that he has the capabilities, but he's not displaying it. He's not showing the right tactical setup for the different games. And look, when your manager's being out coached or out tacticked by most managers we played this season, there's an issue, a real big issue, in my opinion. Lashner came and tactically crapped all over us. Amorim, guys, we have ridiculed Amorim for years now. Amorim job, we've called him, and all these names. He came to Anfield, guys. Let it sink in. He came to Anfield and dumped on our manager.
Cal, why are you saying that, yeah? Do you know what really pissed me off?
They're above us in the league.
Man United players after that game came out and said, "We know Liverpool's weaknesses and we attacked it."
You know,
We didn't know Man United's weaknesses.
guys, remember, I'm going to take you back a year.
Crazy. It's crazy.
We played Manchester United at Old Trafford. Salah came out to the pitch in flip-flops after he scored and assisted two, and was like, "Yeah, you know, if this contract goes through, I want to stay." Slot came out, was standing next to the pundits, and he stripped Ten Hag naked tactically. And we all sat there as Liverpool fans and said, "This guy just dealt with your manager on the pitch and then told you how we beat your manager on the pitch. Say something. You lot got Ten Hag. We hope he stays for a long time." I've just seen Man United a year later, not even their manager, their players come out and go, yeah, we knew what to do here. We knew what to do here. We implemented it and look, we got the result. What is going on? Man United, who got moved to by Brentford, Man United, who have been getting moved to by teams for a while now, came to our ground, the champions, and could have beaten us by more than what they beat us. They could have been 2-0 up before we even had a sniff. They tactically outclassed our manager. Glasner tactically outclassed our manager. Keith Andrews was a set-piece coach last year. Tactically outclassed my manager. What is going on? Shout out to Jamrock. I'm pretty sure Jamrock subscribes to this channel as well. I know he subscribes to yours as well, Jay. Long throw-in. Why can't we just put one of our players to stand in front of the person taking the long throw-in? Why can't we do that?
The fuck does that achieve?
Because you're not getting as much momentum on it, Tom. It's like having a wall as well in for a free kick. We're not saying it's going to stop everything, but it's going to, you can't get as much momentum.
How to stop it? If you're too close to the throw-in, you get pulled back on it.
No, that's a free kick. You can stand as long as you're not over the line.
No, you can't stand there on a throw-in. You've got to be a set distance back on a throw-in.
All right, then have someone that set distance then. Jump for it.
That wouldn't stop the momentum, especially because Brentford's one
If
where
someone's in front of you, if someone is a few yards away from you jumping, you're telling me that's not going to do anything to the throw-in taker?
No, not really.
Not
unless the throw is shit enough to where it doesn't get the lift it needs. Because that's fucking real. Brentford's throws weren't that. They were that. The problem is the one thing I will say is our set piece defending is shit. So I'm being
why is our set piece crap when set piece defending crap when, if I'm not mistaken, last season we were either ranked first or second from defending from set pieces?
I don't fucking know. I think it's because we're using the wrong place in the wrong positions. I fucking hate zonal marking. I hate it.
So why are we doing it then? Zonal marking is a problem. But we continue to do it. I'm going to go through.
I hate a lot of things we continue to do. I hate a lot of things we did last year when we were.
And that's my point. All right, check this, guys. Our two goalkeepers over 6 foot. Right back, they're pretty short. Conor Bradley's actually not that short. Virgil and Konate, both over 6 foot. That's 4 players already. Mm-hmm. Kerkez is like 5'10", 5'11", so he's not short either. Gavin Birch, 6'3". Szoboszlai, 6'1". Gakpo, 6'4". Ekitike, 6'4". Isak, 6'4". And you're telling me no one can win a header?
The height's not the problem, though.
We should be the ones with Arsenal numbers.
Curtis Jones, 6'1". But we can't win headers. It's a desire thing. Why are we not being coached set piece? Again, I won't say why we're not, but why is it we can't replicate whatever we're being coached from set pieces? I saw Bruno Guimaraes score a header earlier on this season against Liverpool because Kerkez was doing that. Kerkez doing this, guys. Sticking his bum out and putting his arms back. What's that? This ain't Orange YouTube. What are we doing here? Is this what we do to defend? Stick our bum out and put our arms back. This ain't carnival. All season, we're conceding.
What happened to Carnival, is it?
Throw-ins. All season, we're conceding from corners and throw-ins. But yet, we as a fan base have had the arrogance to cuss Arsenal and be like, well, you play 4 centre-backs, that's why you don't concede goals. They don't concede goals because they have a system which don't concede many chances. How many times has Allison? We've won a match, but we've given Allison a 10 out of 10. Come on, make the two things connect, guys. This season.
I'll be honest. Outside of the Palace game, I don't think Allison had many well-beaten games like you're going on about.
2025, he has.
Yeah, PSG 100%. So we got 2.
How many? It's not just 2, Tom. If we can go through the whole games in 2025 if you want, I don't think Sam really wants to do that, but I'm happy to.
I mean, I don't remember the ones from last year. There might be a third one, but the idea that even at the start of the season, we were only getting bailed out because of Allison. Allison had conceded more shots, more goals than he had saves made by the 6th game of the season. The problems are deeper rooted than that. We didn't. The stupid thing is, we've not at the start of the season, up until Palace and even in games beyond that at points, we don't concede many chances for large parts of the game, and then we'll have a fucking 10-minute spell where we're just spread. Fucking asking anyone to do whatever they want. It for me. So what I've gathered here is, I'm not Arne Slot out because I don't think Arne Slot is solely to blame here. When I think Arne Slot is solely to blame, then I switch. But for me, I think the players are on an equal standard at this point because I don't feel like they are doing that. I feel like there's a real chance they're leaving the manager out to dry, and I can't respect that. If these players are doing everything at 100%. They're working their arse off, and I'm seeing game in, game out, no matter what they do, they're being hung out to dry because of poor tactical decisions, then I'm 100% there. But when I'm seeing a lack of work...
The majority are being hung out to dry.
Disagree. So you went through a list earlier, Frimpong. Frimpong's been injured for 5 games this season.
I never said Frimpong. I said Frimpong should be annoyed. I said Frimpong would be... No, I said Frimpong would be annoyed because whenever he's fit, he's third choice right back and second choice right winger. All right, let's speak about it then, Tom. Kerkez been tactically hung out to dry because, as we've all said, he's a traditional left back, likes to get up and down the pitch. He's been asked to do the third phase of attacking build-up. Mm-hmm. Virgil and Kanate are being hung out to dry because they're the only two defenders, it seems, on the team. Gravenberch's being hung out to dry because he's been asked to be an advanced attacking midfielder or an advanced 6 or an advanced 8. So Bosley, tactically, do I have to go into it? Right back, centre back, centre midfielder, McAllister.
That's not what. No.
Okay. You said a player's being hung out.
They're not being hung out tactically to dry now.
I've just named you 5, Tom. They've all 5 of those.
Because you know what, Van Dijk and Kanate aren't. Van Dijk and Kanate aren't. Guess what? Teams defend with 2 centre backs. In settled play, teams will defend with 2 centre backs. Most top teams do. Fucking hell. In settled play, Arsenal defend with 1 and pull a pivot player back in. But we don't sit there and go, oh my God, look at Gabriel and Saliba being tactically hung out to dry. No.
Can I ask you a question? How often do we see players running at Saliba and Gabriel? How often do we see that?
How often?
Yeah.
Once, maybe twice a game at a push.
At a push. How often do we see it with Liverpool?
3 times, 4 times.
Okay. So let me ask you a question, Tom. Because you're saying...
But hold on. That's not because the manager's set up tactically allows that. That's because we make shit mistakes.
Where's the midfield?
The midfield is... So bar the run of games where he'd done the 3-1-6, the midfield has been there all season.
Doing what?
The problem... doing what it does. Being somewhat there. I don't know what you want me to say because that's not on the manager put players in those positions.
You're asking me questions. I'm not asking you questions. Like I'm genuinely asking what is the tactics? What is the setup? What are the midfielders doing? Because I'm just seeing Szoboszlai running after everything and everyone, covering for everything and everyone. I'm seeing Grab have a few good games. I'm seeing McAllister in and out of the team, or I'm seeing McAllister playing when he absolutely shouldn't be playing. So I'm genuinely asking, like, where's the protection for our centre backs? Because if you're asking if you're asking the fullbacks to go forward, and then you're also saying, Grav, you were the DM last year especially in the first half of the season, and we're brilliant at it. But now you've got more license to go forward. If Grav's got license to go forward, which midfielder is being told you've got to just sit back a little bit, or you've got to protect this defense? Which midfielder, Tom?
So if I'm being brutally honest, Liverpool had at least one midfielder back at every point in the game this season. It's not the midfielder I want at times, but we've had a midfielder in that position. Should it be more? You could argue it should be more. But in those games where Gravenberch was going on about having the license to roam, being the free man and whatever, anytime he went forwards, whether it was Atletico Madrid or whether it was Everton or whether it was fucking Newcastle, he always had one of the other midfielders fill in that position. Against Atletico Madrid, Dominic Szoboszlai done it really well. Against Everton, in one of his only good games this season, McAllister was good at filling in and dropping in and covering that position. So Grav will go forwards, Szoboszlai go forwards, McAllister will drop in. Against Newcastle, it was Curtis Jones. So it's not like the idea that Liverpool this season have basically just went, we're going to leave Van Dijk and Konate on the halfway line. Kerkez is going to be like the fucking weird left wing back thing, and everyone else is going to stand on the back line. That's not the case. That's not the case.
It kind of is, Tom.
It's not though. It's not, because not everyone's going. What we're doing is a setup that most top teams do, but what we are doing wrong is players are making silly mistakes and other players aren't being platformed correctly for whatever reason. That's why I say yes, the manager deserves some blame for it, but the players who are making these silly mistakes and not working hard enough and hanging their own teammates out to dry at points also deserve it, which is why I can't fully say this is on the manager.
So where would you say the split? Because I've not fully said this on the manager. Where would you say the split is in terms of percentage players as manager?
For me, it's 80-20.
I'm the exact same as Husam.
I've got it closer to 60-40, to be honest.
So the reason why I'm saying 80-20 is because we have seen so many times this season where teams have been able to act tactically outclass our manager. If 80% of my problem is something that I can resolve, then that's my issue. For me, 80% is too high of a number for the blame game. In the same way, if I had a player in my team who was 80% of our problem, I would take said player out.
But if that's the way you see it, that's the way you see it. But when we go about going on about tactically outclassing, so like again, everyone uses is Crystal Palace. Don't disagree. We were tactically outclassed, but it wasn't the case. Man United as well. Don't disagree.
Chelsea.
Okay. So all I'm saying, once I get to my point, all I'm saying is outside of Chelsea, because Chelsea's done it a different way, and that's one he's never been able to quite grasp a whole of. And you can put that one on the manager because it was the same at points last year, but with Cole Palmer available, he played it a little bit differently, and he managed that one. But even then, he struggled at points in that game. When I look at Palace, when I look at United, when I look at Brentford to a degree, and we are looking at they tactically outclassed us. We know what their tactic was. So again, I've maintained this the whole way through. When you tactically outclass someone by playing long ball, you're intrinsically winning your duels. Once again, the Crystal Palace game, they played the exact same way in the first half as they did the second half. But we battered them in the second half and got battered in the first half.
We didn't batter them.
We had them penned back for ages. We had them penned back for
because
ages.
Just because you have possession and you concede the pitch doesn't mean you're battering a team. We were never battered by Manchester City when we beat them 2-0 away from home, but we gave away so much of the pitch, so much of possession.
I'm not saying it's about possession. At no point did I say, "Oh, we bashed them because we had 70% possession."
You just said we had them penned in. You just said we had them penned in.
Yes, because we were creating big chances. We created 6 big chances.
And how many did they create against us?
In the second half, 2.
So that's not
2, and both of them came in the last in at the time when we were chasing the game because he made the.
We didn't batter Crystal Palace. We created chances, I agree, but we didn't batter them in the second half, Tom.
I agree. I don't think we battered them.
In the second half, we had 2 extra. I'm sorry. Compared to the first half, we did fine. I'll caveat it with that. Compared to the first half, we were a lot better in the second half.
But if I were to use the first half as a measuring stick, then we need to fault the club.
No, but we are using the first half.
Because if I use the first half as a measuring stick, it should have been 7-0 down.
I agree. The first half as a measuring stick because we're saying that they tactically outclassed us. So they tactically outclassed us in the first half. They thought it's a measuring stick. So what changed in the second half? Because the thing that changed, we brought a left winger on, so we played a system that hasn't worked all season by everyone's belief because we just went back to what we'd done. So it wasn't a case of Arne's not done something new tactically. No, we've done exactly what we've done tactically. The thing that changed was they struggled to get out for larger parts of the game because Konate started beating Mateta in the air. and we'd win the second balls for once, and we'd be able to start getting sustained spells of pressure. Against Manchester United, how did they attack us? Long balls in the channels, and the fullbacks were losing their duels, and the centre-backs, when they were going out there, were being outside the Canati, because Canati had a good game, which is also why they had very little joy down Mateus Cunha's side. Whenever it was going to the channels, either the fullback fucked up or the centre-back fucked up, and they wouldn't engage, and it allowed them to gain 10, 15 yards. In the second half, up to a point we scored pretty much, the centre-backs and the full-backs were a lot more aggressive on it. It sounds stupid, and if you want to make it a lot bigger than it is, if you think it's a lot bigger than what I'm saying, that's fine. I can't disagree. But for me, a lot of it comes down to these tactical outclassings. Yes, on a baseline level they are, but these tactics that they're employing is not some sort of, right, we're going to have to move the entire squad around to fix it. If we win second balls against Brentford from their knockdowns, all of a sudden a lot of their attacking threat goes and we're sitting there going, Arne's not to figure out a long ball. It's not. He doesn't have to change fucking anything like that. We just need to win second balls.
But Tom, isn't it concerning? Let me. So I do want to speak about
tactically and still out tactically classing us. Isn't that a concern that they're not having to do anything crazy to be able to know how to beat us?
It's one ball over the top, ain't it? Look,
I know what it is, but I'd ask you how else do we stop it?
That's my next question, because I do wanna say, like, what do we do moving forward? Before I do that, let me just grab a couple of these super chats, guys, because they've been stacking up. So let me just grab them, and then we're gonna move on, talk about like Liverpool going forward, because we know that Slot hasn't been sacked now. Okay, so we have to now speak about what happens in the future, because we got 4 very difficult games coming up. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Go check out Kopish and subscribe to them. Subscribe to Tom Little. Subscribe to Jamie Phillips. All the links are in the description. Also, do check out our sponsors. This code expires by the end of today. 10% off. I hooked you guys up. So make sure you guys are checking it out as well and using the code to get yourself some shirt. Because unlike Liverpool Football Club on the pitch, they deliver. You get me? So let me just grab these supers, guys. Big up to Ethan, who says post-match comments from Slot and Van Dijk are scary. Funnily enough, on Kopish, that's actually where Callum turned. He's like, oh, he said that. Nah, get him out, man. Big up, guys. Would you take Iraola if Slot gets sacked? Personally, I would. If Slot does get sacked, Iraola is my top option for me. He's the top option.
Him and Eddie Howe.
He's not my first choice, but I'm not against it.
Put it this way, I don't think anyone would complain if we get Iraola, basically.
What about Eddie Howe? What would you guys think about Eddie Howe?
50-50 on it, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like him as a person. He winds me up quite a lot.
I don't know if I could deal with having fucking Tyndall as my assistant manager.
No, I'm just putting names out there. I don't want Eddie Howe. I'm just putting names out there.
Yeah. I don't want Eddie Howe.
Iriola's the best one. Yeah.
Big up the whole panel is what Akia is saying. Thank you so much, Akia, for the super chat. You've been supporting us so much, man, recently. I appreciate you all the time. Big up Akia. My guy. 100%. How does Liverpool stop this onslaught of these results? We're going to discuss this next, Komkal Ali, because we have to look at how do we fix this shit right here? Because, obviously, if Slot isn't going to get sacked, what do we do to change things around? That's the question. Big up to Joe, who says, from an Arsenal fan in peace, only up from here. Hey, enjoy it. You're going to win the league this season. You get me? If you fumble this, bro, you have to...
Are we allowed to do this?
Joe's being cool, man.
Joe's good, I'm not going on Joe on this. But are we allowed to do this? Because, when Liverpool won the league last year, it's because everyone was shit, yeah?
Yeah, I was about to.
Are we allowed to do it?
My nuclear weapon. I'm ready.
Are we allowed to use it?
Can we call this like the
only reason why Arsenal are going to win the league is because Liverpool are shit, guys. We can do this as well.
By the way, everyone deserves the title they win. By the way, no matter what. You know what I mean?
No, you know what else we can do? We can pull out the old. It's the lowest quality Premier League ever because like 20.
It is at the moment. It's just set pieces and long balls. That's all it is, man. It's set pieces
what in 5 goals in this Premier League are set pieces? So we can just sit there and go, it's the lowest quality Premier League you've ever seen.
Alternatively, someone tells Slot that our fullbacks aren't Iniesta and Xavi, so shouldn't invert, and that our midfield can't be as open as Bonnie Blue. I do agree with this, man. Like this whole the fullbacks thing is just getting on my nerves so much. Playing Kerkez left center back is irritating my soul. Like it irks me so much because I've watched certain like clips of Kerkez for Hungary, and he's playing like some Roberto Carlos shit for Hungary. And then he comes to us and he's like left center back. I'm like, what are we doing?
But
Big up to you, Alex.
have you heard how Slot talks about why he wanted Kerkez low? He talks about his strengths and why he wanted him, but then doesn't play him like that.
Yeah.
Weird, ain't it?
This is Liverpool FC, not Slot FC. We are the standard, and being emotional to a manager who's costing us games and being extremely stubborn is unacceptable.
It is.
Mm.
Is this aimed at Tom or like at Jamie and Callum?
If it's aimed at me, then
I don't think it was aimed at anyone.
I don't think you should put it out in the atmosphere that we're Liverpool. Yeah, I think that's all he's saying. I don't think it's aimed at anyone.
At the end of the day, if you think me sitting there saying I'm still back in Slot is me not wanting the best for the football club, we all believe we have the best interest of the football club in art because that's all we want. If Cal thinks it's the best thing that he goes, Cal thinks it's the best thing that he goes. I don't see it that way. That's fine. We'll have discussions about that. I just think that to an nth degree, people might not understand what this football club doesn't sack managers.
It does not. But after the money they spent, they might have to. That's the problem.
But people will. The thing that loses me with certain people, I'm not saying to anyone on this panel, is the people who sit there and when Chelsea were going through their thing where they sacked like Tuchel, then Potter, then Poch all in like a space of a year and a half. And everyone's going, oh, thank God my club's never like that. Or United going through all their ones and going, thank God my club's never like that. And then we spend a bit of money for once, and then they want us to be exactly like that. I'm willing to see. I want the manager to fall on his own sword more than anything. That's how I always see it with managers. Obviously, if it gets to a point where we are not going to get top 4 by like January, like if we're in real danger of that, he's fell on his sword at that point. But I'm more of a fan of trying to get managers through to the end of the season. So I don't think mid-season change does much good for anyone.
Here's my problem with it, yeah? Should the defending Premier League champions be playing for top 4?
They shouldn't.
No.
They shouldn't, and that should be factored in at the end. I'm not saying that if Arne Slot gets to the end of the season.
I'm not as bad as Tom. For me, I'm waiting for these next 3-4 games, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Forget January. These next 3, if we lose these next 3-4 games, bro, then the job becomes untenable.
My issue is I don't think he knows how to turn it around, because I know you're going to go on to this now about how do we change it. He's got to just forget about how he wants to play right now and play something else and come back to it. Yeah, look, managers have always got a way they want to play. Every manager's got a system and a way they want to play, yeah. But sometimes when it's not going right and the players are not doing it and something's just wrong and you're losing, you've got to change it up and just do something completely different. You got to work it in training, talk to the players, have meetings about it and stuff like that, and change it up and try something else. Because the fact he did, I keep going back to it. The loss of Man United hurt everyone, and I think it hurt Slot as well, because he did change it for midweek. He did change it, and we was all happy about it. Everyone spoke about it. Every Liverpool fan I know spoke about it. The one thing they were happy about, it weren't just the result, it's the fact that he did change things up in his system tactically, right? And then we was all gassed because of the Brentford game coming up and thinking, right, he's gone that way now. He's got to keep it and we're going to change it up in the Premier League a little bit. And then he went exactly back to what has been. He went straight back to that Brentford game and continued to play the way that we lost to Man United and all the teams before that. And that's the frustration.
He did it in like a hybrid way as well. He tried to defend in a 4-2-3-1, which would then become a 4-5-1 at points. And then Salah would just like really cheat in this game. He really wasn't supposed to track back, and we'd somehow make that up, despite the fact he was also telling Verts, I don't want you defending out on the right. And then in attack, it was he wants his fullbacks pushed high up, but then he wasn't actually moving anyone into the back line to line now. Again, I've never once said he's not made mistakes, but because people will listen to that and go, oh, so you are sort of no. He's definitely made mistakes, 100%. But in the same breath, there's points there in that game. There's mistakes made in that game. There's pages of that game where I'm looking at it going, the manager's not sat there with Gakpo, Ekatike, Verts, and Salah before. And went, by the way, If their right back starts to run in field and gets the crowd up, you know what I want you to do? Shake out the tackle with them. You know, if there's a 50-50 ball bouncing in the middle of the pitch, you know what I want you to do? I want you to half-arse going for it and lose it and then put us under more pressure again and rile their fans up. A lot of it is I think part of it are down to the players and what they are.
It is, Tom. But do you know the mad thing with players, yeah? You know when a manager gets a sack and a new manager comes in and the players start playing from straight away and everyone turns around and goes, why didn't you do that for the last manager? It's something with players, man. I don't know what it is. Players are just selfish, maybe.
I wouldn't like the idea of these players down in tools to get a manager sacked. I think it's a very dangerous thing.
No, I agree.
I can guarantee it's a dangerous thing. But I can guarantee these players.
To be honest, as long as it's balanced and we don't become the new Chelsea, then I wouldn't.
If there's a reason for a sack him. Do you know what I mean? If we lose to Man City and if we lose to Aston Villa and Man City, yeah, I don't think his job's attainable anymore at all, because that's 6 Premier League losses in a row. That's unacceptable. You know, like that's really unacceptable with the team we got. You know, and this is another thing as well when we're talking about sacking managers and that. We've built our team now. We've got our squad. Look at the players we have, and everyone's right. We can change this with the players we got. We don't need to buy players in January or the summer to actually change our fortunes around. The talent's there on the pitch. The talent's there in the team. We can change this round. We can change this round tomorrow if he wants to. But that's the big question. Does he want to? Does he want to go away from the system that he's put in place right now that's not working to try and help Liverpool, try and help the club just to get some points again? I'll tell you what, if he changes the system, right, and we draw 0-0 to Villa and draw 0-0 to City, I'm going to be upset that we haven't won games of football, but I'm also not going to be angry at him because he's changed something. He's gone right.
That's
I can see we're
hold
losing.
that thought, Jamie, because I want to talk about us going forward as well. So let's hold that thought quickly. Lads, what do you guys think about it having to do with new backroom staff as well as the manager's been a shit time, but never forget Tommy Blue. Bro, I think Heitinga is becoming like this new thing where everyone's looking at like Heitinga as like this reason why we won the league last season.
And he almost got the sack at Ajax.
Yeah, he's not that important, I promise you.
Mm.
I miss Costas, to be honest. Costas at left centre back, he'd be even worse than Kerkez, I promise you.
And he barely
Costas'
played.
biggest fan on this. I'm Costas' biggest fan on this whole panel, bro, and I'm saying this. Biggest red flag for me is you change things up tactically midweek where it works and then revert type back to normal. For Brentford, I can't blame slot outers. Same, I'm in a position where it's like, if you're slot out, I ain't mad at you, but I'm just not there yet because it's more of a feeling for me than anything else, like I said. You get me? So, yeah. Either Eddie Howe or Iraola. I'll be honest with you guys, I think Eddie Howe is a horrendous idea. So sorry guys, I just don't think he can handle it, and he's having a shit time at Newcastle as well right now. I think Iraola can handle it because he gives me that like fucking like, I don't know, I just feel it with Iraola. He has that aura.
I think Liverpool only sack Arne slot if they believe Jurgen Klopp comes back, and I think that's the only reason they do it.
I don't think Klopp would come back to work with Edwards and Hughes. I think the Bartlett interview has given people way more hope than it should about this whole Klopp comeback.
Oh, it has. But I think that's the only reason they'd sack. I honestly do believe. I don't think Liverpool go sack Arne Slot to hire the Bournemouth manager. I really do. I think Tom probably thinks the same. The way the club's run right now, I just don't think that's where they go. Look at. They will only sack Slot if they think, Jurgen Klopp would definitely come back to Liverpool.
I think there's a set group of managers in the world that they'd go for, and I can't say for sure who's on that list. I think Jurgen Klopp 100% would be. Me personally, just based on the way certain people talk about the Red Bull group, I wouldn't be shocked if the likes of Nagelsmann are on that list, especially if Germany, with the World Cup, he could be a free agent in the summer. I can't rule out Bournemouth's manager, but I certainly don't think it should be a mid-season move. I can't rule out Bournemouth's manager because apparently we bought the left back. We wanted to buy the centre back that went to Real Madrid. We want to buy the right winger. I wouldn't be shocked if they looked at the manager and went, he's a bit all right.
He plays the football that the club want to play as well. And this is another thing as well. The club have got a philosophy where they want to play attacking football with 4 at the back. That's why we never went for Ruben Amorim, because he plays 3 at the back. The club want to play attacking football with 4 at the back. So the managers everyone's talking about, you've got to look for managers around Europe that play attacking football with 4 at the back.
I think the 4 at the back thing is becoming less of a requirement now, though, because most teams play with a back 3 for large parts of the game and then build up.
Yeah, but they like their bases are
like if you have 3 centre backs that are really good at passing, it's effectively a 4 anyway, because you can just push one of the centre backs into DM in build up, and then it's a 4 in that case. I think that the certain managers that they would consider 100%. I think like said, the Stephen Bartlett interview done a lot of things for the fans that aren't like
But even the way the club said it in the interview, he said it like in a never say never fashion. He was never like, yeah, bring me back. Like he never said anything too much. Like it's just like, yeah, I did say I wouldn't manage anyone else in England, and it's just a never say never thing. So I think it's more of a like Liverpool are, let's say Liverpool are even worse than this 5 years from now. Whatever, like we need someone till the end of the season. Klopp wouldn't say no type shit.
People ignore what he said afterwards as well, though, because like he goes like, "Oh, would you ever manage Liverpool?" Then he goes, "I did say I'd never manage anyone else in England. So theoretically, if it's England, yes, but I'm not. I'm happy not coaching right now. I'm enjoying going on holiday. I'm enjoying doing this. I'm enjoying my job. There's no inclination that he's ready to return to coaching. He says in the interview he doesn't know if he'll ever return to coaching. I remember how tired and fucked he looked at the end.
Yeah.
There are gross
similarities to how Slot has you guys playing now and how Ten Hag had United. Hey, the fact that we were doing this, like I agree with this. You guys have better players, but system. I agree with this completely. You have no idea, honestly. Come on, if this goalkeeper isn't anywhere near Ali, then why don't we give Kelleher a fat new contract, tell him to wait 2 more years before taking over? I don't think Kelleher would have saved any of the goals we conceded against.
Also, Kelleher
other than the penalty, because he's a good penalty shot stopper.
Kelleher didn't want to stay. He wanted to leave. He wanted to.
He wanted to be the
Kelleher is also nowhere near Ali. No
As
one
an
is
NFT hater, I'm enjoying this therapy session. Don't worry, your time is coming, United fan. Isn't it amazing how all these incredible world-class players are all now collectively playing bad? We need to wake up. It's Slot. He's set up to fail. And this for all the people who do the whole wool thing. Jack is literally a scouser and he's Slot out. So Slot do this whole.
Sorry, is that a Graham Potter face swap
yes.
to Arnie Slot's head?
Yes. It's now reached the Slot thing. You get me?
I think most of our problems is we play too slow.
I can't believe you guys are fumbling this short Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson window of opportunity to dominate. I actually thought this would be an easy back-to-back league. So did we, Aslan.
City are still not City of old. They're still vulnerable. It's just
Arsenal have 17th in open play goals in the league. You get me?
It's just Arsenal.
Worst set of fullbacks in the Prem, no exaggeration. Well, this is definitely an exaggeration. Completely an exaggeration.
If you play them properly, they wouldn't look this bad.
Because West Ham fullbacks exist, and you get me. Let's not go through the list now.
Diouf might be better than Odd. 2 left backs.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, they're not the worst set because Wolves fullback exists. Matt
we never arguably had the best.
So if I put Diouf at Liverpool and play him left centre back, you think he'd perform?
Guys, yeah.
No, I'm not saying. But even still, if you play,
so it's not on them. No, it's not on them.
We arguably never had the best midfield in the league, won league titles, but it's about how you play these players.
How they were played, exactly.
I remember everyone used to moan about Liverpool's midfield, calling it the Brexit midfield. We want creative players. We want creative players. Yeah, I'll take the Brexit midfield back today.
I wouldn't now because we don't have the fullbacks to make it work.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't know. Kerkez could probably make it work if you play that way.
I don't think Kerkez is that creative.
Because what you added. The reason why the Brexit midfield worked is you had a pair of fullbacks that were breaking the assist record every year and improving assist record every year. Now, I don't think Bradley gets... Because as much as I hate him, Trent would get you 14 assists a season with that midfield, and Robertson would get you 30.
Yeah, look, Trent's different.
Kerkez doesn't get me 10. Bradley or Frimpong don't get me 10.
It doesn't get me 10 playing left centre-back. Buy your Fabregas stocks now. Brother, put the turtle lock.
We're not buying. I don't think Liverpool will get another up-and-coming manager.
Yeah, no one trying to get Fabregas. Put your turtleneck away. Stop trying to be Callum Sanderson. Balance of the team is wrong. You can't have Mo cheating in the press. Wirtz, Gakpo, and 9. None of them press with any intensity. Where's midfield's protection? Never mind the back force protection. I agree with this, and this is why I think it's a systematic and style issue. That's why he has to fix it. I'm slotting because I believe he can fix it. It's as simple as that.
The,
If
the,
he
the
doesn't
annoying
fix
thing
them,
is that the
I'll change
balance
my
is
opinion.
that there is a way the balance does work with this team, and he showed it against Frankfurt. Now, albeit people now go the Frankfurt game was a flash in the pan, and it might well have been, but at least in that Frankfurt game, I was seeing a structure that I could back as working. I understand that this manager doesn't want to press as high. Do I like the fact he doesn't want to be as aggressive in the press? No, I think that Liverpool Football Club should be as aggressive in the press as they possibly can be. But this manager doesn't want to do that. But if you're playing that system that you played against Frankfurt, where you're playing, in my eyes, the way to do it is you have Ekatike and Isak up top together with Wirtz and Szoboszlai as your wide midfielders and Jones and Gravenberch as your central midfielders. They can cut the passing lanes into the middle. So they've got to go wide, and then you've got a 4 block of midfielders who are all serviceable, either in a press or defensively, to be that line. Right now, we try and do a forward press. It doesn't work, so then the midfielders get annoyed and vacate their position to join that press and try and lead it, and then that's what they want. So just embrace the fact your front line can't press and set up in a solid mid block. But we
Big
don't
up
do
to
that.
Rob, who says, "Do you think Slot has lost the dressing room?" I'm more on the side of Jamie, where he said I think there's elements of that. I wouldn't go that far yet. I think there's definitely elements of it, though.
I think there's frustration. I don't think he's lost the dressing
Not
room.
lost
Yeah, I don't
it,
think he's
but
lost it yet.
they.
But there's elements of it, though. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
Like maybe Kerkez himself thinks I don't want to play left center back type shit. You get what I'm saying? Like the midfield, exactly what Callum broke down. Unfortunately, he can get things right sometimes. Why don't we just play like we did at the beginning of the season to shore up the goals being conceded? Slot can fix this himself, and that's exactly why I'm not Slot out yet. just want
We
to
were
be
leaking goals at the beginning of the season.
Last season we were.
Last season, I think we meant
Time
last.
for Baldy to fix it, man.
Last season we went like 7 games in a row with a clean sheet to start the season. But the difference was this season he did that. I remember the whole carry on around the Atletico Madrid game. Oh my God, we're not playing well. Just go back to what you did last year. And he went back to what we did last year. And in the second half against Everton, first half was all right. In the same way the first half against Atletico Madrid was all right. And in the second half, it really struggled again.
Klopp
So,
didn't finish his business, he'll be back. A lot of times you leave unfinished business. Not every time you finish your business.
Do you know what? This ain't just this season, though. You got to go back from January, man.
Can you use this battery for your smoke alarm? Is what Matt is saying. Who has a smoke alarm?
I'm not even in a room with my smoke.
I haven't heard.
I'm
that.
not even in a room with a smoke alarm. No.
The only one posh enough to have a smoke alarm is Callum, actually. So he's the one with the villa. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. The Coppish millions are coming through. The Coppish millions. You get me. Big up to you guys. Go subscribe to Coppish. Make Callum an even bigger millionaire. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Check out code Husam10 for 10% off. Like I said, this expires by the end of the day. I hooked you guys up with an extra day of an extra discount. So go over there and use the code to get 10% off. Any delivery bigger than 50 euros, you get free delivery, free shipping. You get me? So yeah, let's get 500 likes as well. We're just 10 likes away from 500 likes. Let's get there. So go over there, subscribe, and like this video as well.
Did Robbo actually say that? Robbo in an interview said that the team has no structure. Did he
I
actually
wouldn't
say
believe
that?
everything. It might be Anfield papers. Anyway, so guys, talk to me about Liverpool moving forward. Callum, manager won't be sacked. We know this. How do we get out of this mess?
Firstly, we have to play players who inform and merit starting. So that means dropping players who might be fan favorites, might be his favorites, but if they're not playing well enough, they have to be on the bench or at least start on the bench, in my opinion. I think play fullbacks traditionally. So have, as you know, shout out to Tom. I keep on giving Tom credit for this. If you're going to play Curtis Jones, get Curtis Jones to drop into the back three. If Curtis Jones isn't playing, then for me, you start Robertson then. But in an ideal world, I just want fullbacks to play their natural game. Play 2 midfielders in there and tell them to be more disciplined. And then have Wirtz have the license and give him the space to operate in. And tell players as soon as Wirtz gets the ball, be intelligent. Don't just stand still and wait for it. So many times I watch Liverpool. I watch the midfielders have the ball for Liverpool and everyone's looking at the midfielders with their back to goal.
for a start, stand sideways, so that if you receive the ball, you can actually run forward with it. And second of all, start moving around, move these defenders around, make it so that you're standing in between the fullback and the centre back, so that no one knows who to pick. It's not easy to pick you up. If you stand in front of the centre back knows where you are all the time. Make it difficult for these players to know where you're going to be, and just be stronger when it comes to set pieces. Like, have some cojones. If it means you've just got to barge someone, or you've got to be physical with someone in the box, then do so. But ultimately, move the ball quicker as well. But we'll see, man.
Why have you like given up already?
I don't say I'm giving. I'm just annoyed, bro. I'm just really annoyed. Like, the amount of times I've seen Liverpool
You're
win.
usually so positive and optimistic and like
because
vibrant.
No,
And I
shall
feel
tell you
like
what,
you've lost your vibe completely. Like, you know,
Yeah,
Kendrick
Cal,
Lamar
Cal,
said,
you,
"Bitch, don't
you
kill
should,
my
you should be
vibe. Your
watching
vibe's
us.
dead."
You should be watching us lose to Brentford, and you're like, yes, come on,
no,
boys.
shall I tell you
Don't
what?
waste Anderson
That's what
Group.
I mean.
No, shall I tell you what it is? It's two things. It's on the pitch. The amount of times I've seen Liverpool when we won the Champions League in 2005, I don't feel we're really strengthened as well as we should have. Rafa wasn't really backed. When we won the Champions League in 2019, we all know the story there. Harvey Elliott, Sepp Vandenberg, and Adrian. Manager weren't really back. Then we win the league. It's Costas, Simicast, Jota, and Thiago. Brilliant three players coming in at the time, but we all know we needed a centre back and needed more as well. We've actually won the league, and he was given so many great players. Now, again, Gahey, we didn't get over the line. We can argue why that didn't happen. I wanted us to get a DM. We clearly weren't in the market for a DM. I also wanted us to get another winger. We clearly weren't in the market for another winger. So again, you never finish a window and it's ever perfect. But this window for me was as close to perfect as possible. And I know people will use revisionism and hindsight and go, well, no, we should have signed. At the time, very few people were moaning or upset about a window. We were all elated. We flipping signed Isak and Wirtz and Ekitike in one window, guys. Come on. Like, that's incredible. And then now I'm seeing you have backed the manager, but yet the manager's getting it wrong and getting it so wrong. And then I'll be honest, there's a portion of the fan base that really pisses me off as well. Like a portion of the fan base who are sitting there going, how dare you question the manager, or how dare you be slut out, or you'll never walk alone, or this, that, and the other. Don't hit me with buzzwords. I've probably supported Liverpool a lot longer than a lot of people. I dedicate my life to this stuff. Like, I'm not sitting there saying I'm a footballer. Bloody hell, I miss a lot of stuff creating content around Liverpool. My wife has Liverpool app on her phone because she knows she has to plan trips and stuff around like me filming and doing content. So when people sit there and go, oh, Cal, you're a fake fan and this, that, and the other, you probably don't put as much money into Liverpool as I have over the years. So don't sit there and call me a fake fan. And plus, where's the flipping standards as well? Like, because we won the league under Slot, we can't question him, or he gets how many years? Like, I keep on seeing this. We keep on sitting there and go, we're big bad Liverpool and we're the best team in the world and the most successful team in England, the biggest team in England. Act like it then. It's not all roses and dandelions. There's crap that comes along with being the biggest and the best. And sometimes you've got to make difficult decisions. But it's like people only want the nice side of being the biggest club in England. They don't want the nice side of being the most successful club in England. Nah, that comes with crap as well. It happens. I bet you any money, people like LeBron James and Michael Jordan, everyone looks at them and goes, yeah, it's nice to be that rich and all that. But guess what? They've sacrificed their whole life to play basketball from the age of 2 or 3 years old, maybe. They can't go out to their local shop and just go and grab some milk because they get swarmed. They do get DMs about racism. They do get DMs threatening their families and all this stuff. So yeah, with the great, you also get the bad as well. With Liverpool Football Club, this notion that we can't move away from what worked a time before is crazy. I've seen so many players come and go. If you're sitting there telling me we can't survive without Arne Slot, then respectfully, you're not a Liverpool fan. I've seen Steven Gerrard leave my club.
Liverpool
I've seen Doug Leash leave my club. Like, I've seen all these top players leave. I've seen top managers leave. I've seen Jurgen Klopp leave the club, and the club still survive. This notion that we can't question players and people at the club is crazy. We are Liverpool. If you want to be a Liverpool fan, like you tell me all the time, act like one. We're the biggest team for a reason. So if we're the biggest team and we're the best team, then I want the biggest and the best results. I don't want to be sitting there going, yeah, well, you know, won the league last season. You can't win it every year. Why can't you? City did it 4 in a row. Fergie did it how many times in a row? Was it 3-peat he did? Like, don't sit there and tell Chelsea retained the league. And you want to sit there and tell me, oh, We won it last season. Don't be greedy. Don't be so entitled. No, I am entitled. I'm a Liverpool fan. I am entitled. I want to win it every season. If you don't want to win it every season, then that's on you. I've got big ambitions for my club. So if you haven't, then maybe you should support another team and not me, because I'm a Liverpool fan. And last time I checked, we're the biggest club in the country, one of the biggest in the world. So flipping that like it.
Yeah, damn right. Damn right. Look, Liverpool right now play like pussies, and we all know what happens to a pussy, yeah? And that is what's happening to Liverpool right now, right? No, it's true, man. Liverpool need to start, that's what's happening, right? We're getting effed every week, yeah? Right? We're getting effed every week. Can't keep getting effed. You just can't. Can't keep getting effed, man. You got to change it up somehow. You got to stop it, man. You got to stop. You got to stop. Sometimes you got to stop going on the street. Do you know what I mean? We have got to get ourselves sorted. We have got to find a way to defend, because our attack's fine. Yeah, our attack's fine. We get forward well, right? But we have literally got to now start finding a way to defend. So what the manager has to do now is go away from this attacking system right now. Maybe play a counter-attacking system. Change it up a little bit. Play a counter-attacking system. I don't know. I'm not a manager. I don't get paid this money. I don't get paid to do this job. I'm just a fan. But what I'm seeing right now isn't working. It's just not working, man. We got to change something. He's paid a lot of money to be a manager. And I can hear beeping in the fire alarm, actually. Poor Tom, man.
Tom is so irritated because he can't even fight back like anything. It's the same as me. Like I'm slotting based on hope only. I swear to God. Wallahi, it's just hope. I'm slotting just because I'm like, surely he sees the shit and he's gonna turn it around. There is no way he watches this ass and thinks we can continue. Like, that's the only thing that's making me slot, and I swear to God, like, it's just complete hope. Nothing but hope, man.
It is just hope at the moment. It's hope and prayer. And that shouldn't be the case, man. If I want hope and prayer, I'll get a pope to be our manager. Do you know what I mean? We need to change things up. I'm looking at my manager who's paid a lot of money to run my football club. He had a great first year. And look, the thing with Arne Slot, I'll always remember him for being the man that won us number 20. No matter if he's at the football club or left the football club, I'll always remember that. We'll always will. I'll have a great place for him in Liverpool managers that actually won us number 20. Like Rafa Benitez won us number 5 in the European Cup share after so long. Right? It'll always be remembered. It doesn't mean that what he did last season gives him time this season, because I don't think that works anymore. What he did last season was fantastic. What he's doing this season is not. You can't be defending champions fighting for a top 4 place. Do you reckon, like, I know people say FSG won't sack him, but if Liverpool look like they're really struggling and top 4 after spending all this money, Liverpool need to be in the Champions League year in, year out. After the money Liverpool are putting out there and the sponsorships Liverpool have, they can't afford to lose money. This club can't afford to lose any money. They have to be in Champions League every year.
We should be thinking about a Champions League race.
But this is the thing: we should be defending our. I think every Liverpool fan thought we were going to dominate this league coming this season. I think we all thought domination is going to happen now. The manager got it right the first season. He's the guy. We bought all these players. We're going to go again. It looks like it's just us and Arsenal. And now we're 7th behind Man United on the same games played. The team that we all take the mick out of, right? Something's gone wrong. So he's got to go away from what he feels like is his system to go somewhere else right now and just shore it up a little bit, play a little bit differently. If we've got to play a little bit more defensive and play a bit more counter-attacking and give the possession to the other team. Slot's come out before and says it's not all about possession. It's not all about possession. Possession don't win games of football. Goals do. So let the opposition have the possession. Go a little bit more defensive-minded. We've got the players in our team to change this. We have. It's not like we have to go and buy players in January to help us change it. Buying Semenyo will not change Liverpool right now, because all it'll do is carry us playing the same way what we're playing now. We just got a bit more pace on the left-hand side. Nothing.
Callum, there's someone that's addressing you that I think you have to address because you got to go.
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to read it out?
Yeah.
Cal, I hear what you're saying, but where's your sympathy? I recall you saying it will be tough this year when Jota died, and you would back the team no matter what. I completely agree with this. I do back the team. The manager's not part of the team. He's the one who selects it. Also, what I will say on that is, if that's the case, then I think this is where contact has to be added in, bro. And I'm not trying to snap back at you or anything, but if that's the case, that means we can't criticize anything that happens this year. Then, and then if that's the case, we just might as well write off the season. I don't think anyone wants that, and I'll reverse it. Even though we're all devastated at what happened with Jota, and no one more so than the people that are around him, then you kind of want to win stuff for said player, right? You want to dedicate the season and have a great season so that you can hold up his name even higher and be like, this is for you, Diogo. So again, with all due respect, I get what you're saying, and I don't think you're wrong, but I don't think it's a lack of sympathy to want Liverpool to be the best possible that we can be, and I don't think we're showing that at the moment.
Do you know what? With the Jota situation, yeah, because I get not getting annoyed that the person is super chatted. I get annoyed with the Jota situation because no one brought up the Jota situation when we were winning games of football.
Can I go a step further, Jay? When Kanate was going through a bad spell, I never heard anyone go, do you know what, Kanate might be doing it because Jota. Him and Jota were close. I never heard anyone say about McAllister. We're picking and choosing who we want to align it with and who we don't want to align it with.
I think if Slot had his tactics spot on and his system spot on, yeah, and we could all see that, but the players were struggling because of the Jota situation, I'd be like, yeah, just write this season off. I totally understand it, right? But the Jota situation don't make my manager turn my DM into a number 8. Do you know what I mean? And things like that. That's not. And to be fair, a lot of Liverpool fans are saying we've been playing like this since January in 2025. Look how many games we've lost in 2025. It's actually not very good. You know, I think we've lost almost half the games we've played, man. Look, I love Jota a bits, man. Rest in peace. But I don't think we should be bringing him up every time with something this season because, you know, it's not respectful to Jota and his family either at the same time.
Yeah.
I do think, like, you know, the thing that Jamie just said, I do agree in terms of, like, it's actually disrespectful to him and his family to bring it up every time in this method. You know, thank you for the donation, and you've supported the channel before, but look, here's the thing. When we were winning games of football, we almost used it in a positive light. Like, I still remember when Salah was crying after the game away, at home to Bournemouth. Everyone was like, look how much it means to the players. I hope we win it for Jota, etc. Like,
and Burnley away when Robbo looks up to the heavens after we scored a last minute penalty.
Yeah, we used it in a positive manner, if anything else. Like, we sat here and we said, like, you know, these players are trying to win it for Jota. These players are trying to do it for Jota. And now that things have gone the other way, we can't sit here and go like, yeah, guys, we're losing games because of the Jota situation. Jota will never, ever be forgotten. The fans still sing his name in the 20th minute. We will always remember him on this channel. We will always, and you know how together as a community, what we came together and did for Jota as well. So we will never ever like undermine a Liverpool player passing away ever. We always will regard him. We will always remember him. We will always. He's a complete legend of this football club. I'm glad that FSG are honoring the contract. I'm glad that they retired the number. These are all things that are absolutely beautiful. But when I come back to the football pitch, we also have to acknowledge, look, like the Jota situation doesn't have anything to do with Klopp. With Slot making these wrong tactical decisions, like playing Kerkez left centre back, like leaving the midfield not occupied, like not putting a DM out there, like playing Szoboszlai right back, like playing the wrong combinations of players with each other. This is not because of a mental state. And I think us as football fans were intelligent enough to understand the difference between a mental state and a tactical state. Meaning, what Jamie just said is so true. If Liverpool Football Club are playing so well and we're dominating opposition and we're tactically set up to succeed, but we can tell it's like something mentally throwing them off, we would have 100% like brought up basically the situation and how it's mentally affected the players. But now it's different. Now it's all tactical. Now it's all systematic. It's all structural. So that's the thing. And what Callum said as well. Look, so what? The rest of the season, we're just not going to criticize anything that the manager does or the players do. So if we next game against Crystal Palace, if we lose, like let's say we lose 5-0 at home to Crystal Palace, we get knocked out the cup in an embarrassing manner, in an embarrassing fashion. What do we do? Do we just sit up here and like just not say anything? I don't understand. Like this is why, like, look, this is a sensitive topic and it's a very sensitive topic. But
Yeah, boys, I'm going to shoot off here.
Yeah,
big up Callum.
Big
Big
up,
up,
Enough, love everyone, guys. Please do smash the like button. I think even if you agree with disagree with the points of views and stuff like that, Sam's doing great stuff here. So come on, smash the like button, please, people.
Yes, big up to you, Callum. Go
Big
straight
up,
up, copy.
brothers.
Make him a billionaire. Let's
Do you know? Do you know what? You know, I want the thing is, people not know is that I actually want Arne to succeed at Liverpool. I want him to get it right. I want him to prove me wrong and prove everyone else wrong and stick two fingers up and go, look, it will happen. I want it to happen badly. You know, I was one of the people when he first got the job that really picked him up and was like, this guy's going to be good. And, you know,
Tom was flat out.
but this second season is just, do you know what's the mad one, right? If Slot had this season last season, I think we'd all understand it a little bit more, wouldn't we?
True.
We'd all understand it a little bit more because Klopp's just left and it's what was meant to happen. This season is what was meant to happen last season. But last season didn't. We won the title and this season it's happening. The problem is we saw how good we were last season under Arne, and he didn't change too much under what Klopp did because it would be stupid to do that. But he did tweak little things. He did make Ryan Gravenberch a better player and things like that. But then he's gone away from that now this season, and he's trying something completely different. And you know, we've got massive holes in our midfield where we didn't have last season.
I'd arguably say he isn't trying things completely different. I'd say he's trying to keep many of the philosophies the same, but for whatever reason it's not working now, so he has to
stand out anyway. That's the thing.
At the end of the day, I'm not sought out because I have my beliefs on how football clubs should operate, especially when it comes to a manager. Even when I was Klopp out, I never said I want Klopp sacked in February. When I said it, I said get him to the end of the season, then we move on, because I never agree with replacing managers mid-season.
Shall I play a clip or are you gonna continue to lie?
If I'm in that clip, do I say sack him now, or do I say I think it's time to go?
Okay, the first of all, the bullshit statement you just made. Do not die on this hill. How the hell did you just say? Don't get him out, but it's time to go. It's the same fucking thing.
No, it's not.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Shout out to Claude, R.I.P. Claude. It's time to go. What does this mean?
No, it's not. I didn't want Jurgen Klopp.
I don't know who to go to first. I'm going to go to you, Tom, as Liverpool got smacked up today. What are you saying?
It's okay, Tom.
Jurgen, mate, I
Look
love
at
you,
the scoreline at the bottom.
but it's
3-0.
time to go. I think
Yeah, Mister.
again. So a clip
I love
taken
you,
out.
but it's time to go. What does this mean? Sack him.
Yes, it's time to move on at the end of the season, because do you know what the funny thing about this platform, Mr. Sam? I don't just do football terrace match reaction after Liverpool lose 3-0 to Wolves and that's it. I did multiple shows in the weeks afterwards where my position was clarified. I've never agreed with sacking a manager mid-season. I never have done, and I don't. I'd ideally want us to not do that this year. Obviously, if it becomes untenable, i.e., if his position becomes untenable this season, it becomes untenable. But I'd like to try and give him as much of a chance to get to the end of the season, because I feel like that's ultimately what's best for the football club as a whole. If you're going to go through change, i.e. changing the manager needs a pre-season to work with it rather than what you'd get now, because I feel like the schedule now isn't conducive to having a manager come in and be successful because they don't get to train.
I understand what you're saying there. I mean, the thing is, Would
Don't
you give up?
defend Tom out of pity. Don't
Yeah.
defend Tom out of
Yeah,
pity.
I
You
think
know
we
him
said it.
saying it's time to go is the same thing. Stop it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to help him.
I know how I felt with Jurgen Klopp. At the end of the day, it don't matter. I know how I felt with
Exactly.
him. So I didn't want him gone at that point in the season because there was A, nothing else to play for that season, and B, I always believe a manager needs time. So sorry, I should have clarified back 2 years ago when I was clearly, very annoyed at losing 3-0 to Wolves. I should have clarified at the end of the statement, which I might well do. I don't know because the clip cut off. By the way, I don't want
I
Jurgen
can
Klopp to
play
be
the
sacked
whole
tomorrow.
39 seconds. You go on to say, because he did everything that we wanted him to do and it's still not working. So it emphasizes that you believe he should go now. Shall I play the whole clip? I can do it.
Did I actually say that?
Oh, yeah, no problem. Chat,
I'm tr-
like the video now and I'll
No,
run the whole clip.
I'm trying to remember that team.
I don't know who to go to first. I'm going to go to you, Tom, as Liverpool got smacked up today. What are you saying?
It's okay, Tom.
Jurgen, mate, I love you, but it's time to go. I think this is what it's come to. I don't think the players are buying into it anymore. I really don't, because I looked at that game beforehand. I looked at it and I thought he's put out our best 11. He put out our best 11 that we had at the time. We had the midfield, we had the attack.
There you go.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Again,
Does this
Does not-
indicate future or present, mister? Yeah, hell, defend him again, Jamie.
It indicates at the end of the season. Again, I don't just
why
do...
don't you defend him? Defend him, bro.
I don't just do football tennis match reaction show. I went on your channel probably a day or two later on fucking Liverpool therapy. It will have been, because God knows we had how many of them that year.
Mhm.
And I'll clarify my position at the end of the season, because I don't see the point in sacking the manager. Because that game happened in February. It was like early February. There's no point in sacking the manager in February. And giving a new guy fucking 3 months. No point. So I've always maintained that I think it's best for a manager to get to the end of the season. And if you're gonna go through a big change like sacking your manager and getting a new one in, it's got to be done in the summer. So I'm maintaining my position here. I've also got a lot's a strong word. I've got belief in Arne Slot because he showed me that he's a fantastic tactician last year and he's a fantastic problem solver last year. So it's not a case of I'm asking him to do something I don't know if he can do. I'm asking him to do something he's shown me he can do, but he's not doing for whatever reason. So that's why I've got a bit more time and a bit more trust in it, in the case of I'm not asking him to be something he's not. If Arne Slot last year had won the league by playing 4-3-3, never changing, there'd be games where we were getting battered and he'd refuse to change, then I'd be sitting there going, it'd be a lot different, because I'd know we'd be in a much different situation in terms of the manager won't change. The manager's stubborn in that way, and if he's not going to change, we might need to make the change for him. I don't think that's the case with Arne Slot. So I'm willing to, based on how I see football and based on what I know about the manager, I want to give him as much of it comes to it. I want to give him as much of a chance to succeed, or I want to give him enough rope to hang himself by, if that's the case. If he's not good enough, I want him to show he's not good enough, rather than us potentially jump the gun slightly early. That's the way I see it.
I don't look. Can he change it? I don't know. I haven't seen no proof yet. I've not seen no proof this season. Last season, I think what everyone liked last season, that he would change his tactical setup a little bit and tweak it for a little bit for individual games. And we really rated that about him, That's something we rated about him last season. This season, he just seems to be wanting to play whatever system and style he's got in his mind and set up the way he wants to play. He wants to outscore the opposition. So what I think Arne Slot wants to do, he wants to outscore the opposition quickly and get games won within the hour. That is basically what he wants to do. That's why we have so many men far forward. That's why we have like 8 players in the opposition half, the 2 centre-backs left on their own, isolated, and we play nice and wide. And then when the ball gets turned over, we can't get back quick enough into positions to defend. So everyone runs back and it looks a bit amateurish. That's the way he wants to play. I get it. If that's the way you want to play that way, right? But then buy the players to play that way. You know, I just it's not making sense to me right now. I saw him last season change things when he needed to. So I hear what everyone's saying about tactically they've seen him do it. This season, he just seems to be very stubborn in his ways. He just seems to be very, very stubborn, and he doesn't want to change anything for whatever reason it is. I don't know. I just don't know, but this can't carry on. You know, the holes in our midfield, the overabundance of players in attacking thirds, you know, not being able to defend long balls and set pieces. That's got to change because that's how every team's going to play against us. Every team's going to play like that. Don't matter the quality of the team, because the best way of beating Liverpool right now is play against our weaknesses. And if he doesn't change that, then we're going to be in for a hard season, aren't we? And that's what I want. I want change. It's going to be a hard, long season if he doesn't change it. I don't know when the slap in the face is going to come for him. Do you know what? Fuck it. He was better last season when his family weren't in England.
His family aren't in England now.
Well, what's the matter in? Surely, what's going on? I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on with the guy. Something's changed.
I'll be honest. People won't like this as well. People won't. I can already tell the comments won't like this.
The process has changed.
We need that one that we've got coming up in November, December, where we play the shit teams, and we can just get.
Just like Brentford.
Brentford aren't a shit team now. Brentford aren't a shit. Brentford causes problems even under Klopp.
Man United.
No, Jamie, we haven't played. So out of the bottom, at the bottom six, we've played one of them.
Yeah, look,
we need a run. We need a run almost where we can just have 3 shit teams that we get out the way and build confidence back up, and then see where we go from there. Frankfurt, they were shit. We battered them, and we all thought the confidence was going to be back. I feel like we need a period where, because we've had a tough start to the league season. We've made it tougher than it needs to be, but we've had a tough start. I do think that the manager and the team probably needs to get to that run where, so after City, after that international break, we play Forest, PSV, West Ham, Sunderland, and Leeds. Sunderland's a tough game because they've had a good start to the season, but they are newly promoted. West Ham are wank. Forest aren't great. PSV, it's one of the easier European ties, and it's at home. And Leeds are a newly promoted team that you should be beating us. So that run of games is where I think we need to get to build confidence back up. Now, that also is catch-22. If he gets them run of games and he's shit in them run of games, then I think it's a turning point.
We were terrible against Burnley.
That's the thing. I can't even guarantee you we beat any of them teams.
I know we beat Burnley 1-0, and it was a penalty in the last kick of the game, yeah? So it would have been a 0-0. But still in that Burnley game, Burnley had chances to score themselves where we left it open. So I don't know if that's the case. Like, if we played West Ham tomorrow, I can't guarantee Liverpool win.
I can't guarantee you we win either. Let me just grab these supers before we wrap up.
And by the way, a Sean Dyche Nottingham Forest team, I don't really want to play that right now. Do you know what I mean?
Same. Total chair activities are at a static so high within the UK, and this might explain why some of our fans are fine with us being shit. They like it. I'm not joking, by the way. What I mean is some people genuinely do enjoy the club being bad so they can pump their chest. I'm the best LFC fan. Bellens is what Jack is saying. I agree with you there, Jack. I'm not using it as an excuse. It's just really complicated and always bring him up because he should never be forgotten. Yeah, but we haven't forgotten him at all. And we always mention him every single time, my guy. And thank you so much for your support. Anyway, look, we're going to wrap up the stream here. We're going to redirect you over to Footy Judge Mo. Make sure, guys, check out Jamie Phillips' football chats. Check out Tom Little. Check out every...
Liverpool Chats TV.
Liverpool Chats TV. My bad. Sorry. Liverpool Chats TV. Over there, subscribe. We're going to redirect you over to Footy Judge Mo. Go tell him Husam raid in the chat. Love you all. And I'm going to see you guys back for A-listers tonight, inshallah. Peace out.